Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of English Time with Kyle Millar. We have a great episode today, an exciting episode. If you know me, if you have listened to my shows on Vaughn Radio, if you've listened to the Drive Time show, or you know me in any way, you know that I am fascinated by space and space exploration. And as I am recording, it's the day of the Artemis II launch. NASA is launching the first mission with humans to the moon in more than 50 years. Now, when I say to the moon, I don't mean they're going to land, not exactly, but we'll talk a little bit about the purpose of the Artemis II and the Artemis program. And we'll also have a look at some space vocabulary and also some questions and answers with our famous interrogative challenge around space and around the Artemis program. So it's a good opportunity to learn a bit of English through this interesting news story. Let's get into it. My name is Kyle Millar, and thanks for tuning in to English Time with Kyle Millar. All right, friends, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for deciding to join me and join us on another episode of the show. I appreciate it very much. I appreciate the fact that you are listening, and I encourage you to share the show with your friends as a tool to help them improve their English as well. If you subscribe, if you like and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform and share it with your friends, I would certainly appreciate that as I try to grow the base here with this new project that is English Time with Kyle Millar. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep giving you shows, and I appreciate you very much, and I would appreciate if you would help me by simply subscribing and maybe sharing today's show with a friend. Maybe someone who finds space exploration interesting, as well as someone with a desire to improve their English. But before we start talking about the Artemis program, I want to start with a little warm-up the way we always do, and these are going to be random sentences, not related to space travel. The rest of the show will be, but first of all, let's jump into our warm-up gym. All right, everybody, warm-up gym, here we are. We have some sentences for you, as always. I will give the sentence in Spanish, and I want you to say it in English. Okay. Number one, pon la fecha en la parte superior. Put the date at the top. Put the date at the top. Firma al pie. Sign at the bottom. Sign at the bottom. Estoy un poco cansado. Eso es todo. I'm a little tired. That's all. I'm a little tired. That's all. Yeah, I'm just a little tired. Or you could also say, I'm just a little tired. ¿Quieres que me siente? Do you want me to sit down? ¿Quieres que me siente? Do you want me to? Do you want me to sit down? Now, you could say sit, but typically we would say to sit down. Do you want me to sit down? Do you want me to sit down? Espera hasta que estén listos. Wait until they're ready. Hasta que estén listos. Wait until they're ready. ¿Están listos ya? Are they ready yet? ¿Están listos ya? Are they ready yet? Yet, right? Yet, yellow, yo-yo, yahoo. Yet. Are they ready yet? ¿Están listos ya? Are they ready yet? Nunca haces nada por mí. You never do anything for me. Or you never do anything for me. Para mí. You never do anything for me. Hay alguien esperándote. There's someone waiting for you. Hay alguien esperándote. There is someone waiting for you. There's someone waiting for you. ¿Quién es? Who is it? Oye, ¿quién es? Who is it? Who is it? ¿Quién es? Who is it? No sé quién es. I don't know who it is. Claro, no sé quién es. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. Pues él te conoce a ti. Well, he knows you. Él te conoce a ti. He knows you. Bueno, pues, right? Well, he knows you. Siempre tengo hambre. I'm always hungry. Now, tener hambre, recuerda, to be hungry, not to have hungry or anything like that, but to be hungry. Well, I'm always hungry. Siempre tengo hambre. I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry. No conozco a nadie por ese nombre. I don't know anyone by that name. Por ese nombre. Yeah, I don't know anyone by that name. We say in English, we say to go by a certain name. To go by a name, we often say. So you could say, I don't know anyone by that name, or I don't know anyone who goes by that name. Aparca donde puedas. Aparca donde puedas. Park wherever you can. Claro, donde puedas. Aparca donde puedas. Park wherever you can. ¿Conoces el camino hasta mi casa? Do you know the way to my house? Do you know? Conoces. So, el camino, the way. Do you know the way to my house? Do you know the way to my house? Good question. ¿Conoces el camino a mi casa? Do you know the way hasta mi casa? To my house? Estás jugando con mis sentimientos. Estás jugando con mis sentimientos, eh? You're playing with my feelings. Estás jugando con mis sentimientos. Yes, you're playing with my feelings. Mis sentimientos. Sentimientos, claro. You're playing with my feelings. We'll do two more. ¿Les puedes llevar al hotel? Can you take them to the hotel? Al hotel. ¿Les puedes llevar al hotel? Can you take them to the hotel? Llevar al hotel. To take them to the hotel. And one more, the last one. Más de la mitad de ellos fuman. More than half of them, más de la mitad de ellos, fuman. More than half of them smoke. Yep, more than half of them smoke. Más de la mitad. And be careful, we don't say the middle, right? We say half. La mitad, in this case, half. 50%. So half is 50%. La mitad, well, the middle, I should say, is el centro. I hear people make that mistake a lot. Middle and half, right? Imagine you eat half the pizza, la mitad de la pizza. You don't eat the middle of the pizza. That would be like eating the center of the pizza, imagine, and then discard and, well, not eating the rest. But yeah, to eat half of something, half the pizza, la mitad, 50%. Okay? It's kind of an odd mistake, but I do hear that mistake a fair bit. Okay, anyway, we're going to move on, and we have something very exciting to talk about today. If you know me, you know that I love space exploration, space travel. One of the highlights of my radio career was interviewing the commander of the International Space Station, Chris Hadfield, years ago on Vaughan Radio. If you want to hear that, it is on YouTube, that interview. I encourage you to check it out. The interview with Commander Hadfield on the Drive Time show on Vaughan Radio. That was a big moment for me, and it was just incredible to hear about the spacewalk and to hear about the experience of preparation for going to space, the work that they do, the preparation on the day leading up to it, or the days leading up to a space launch. So you can check that out on YouTube. But we're going to talk about the Artemis program today, because it's a big day with the launch of the Artemis II and a mission to the moon. But before we do, antes de empezar eso, let's talk for a few minutes about some vocabulary. So we have the word mission, misión, mission, y cuídate, digo mission, como shh, silencio, right, mission. So it's not misión, it's mission, shin. And astronauta, we say astronaut, not. Lanzamiento, launch. Nave espacial, spacecraft. Nave espacial, we say spacecraft. Flyby. This is a term we will see. Un vuelo de aproximación o sobrevuelo. When they're not landing on the moon, but it is a flyby. They're going to go very close to the surface of the moon, la luna. Cohete, of course, is rocket. Programa espacial, space program. Y tripulación, the crew. Distancia, distance. Radiación, radiation. So the intonation here, or the pronunciation, I should say, is very important. Radiation. Not radiation, but radiation. And observation. Observation. Exploration. Exploración. Exploration. So with that, we have some vocabulary. We have a good vocabulary base to talk about the Artemis II. As well, today as I speak is the day of the launch, and an exciting moment in space history as NASA is launching the Artemis II. Now, this is the first mission with humans traveling around the moon in more than 50 years. Now, they have sent robots to explore the moon and Mars, but this is the first time that astronauts will go beyond Earth orbit since the 1970s. So that's why this is a big deal. Now, the Artemis II is part of NASA's Artemis program, and the aim, el objetivo the aim of it is to return humans to the moon and eventually take them to Mars. Marte, okay? Now, the mission is launching from the Kennedy Space Center, which is in Florida, using the Space Launch System. This is NASA's most powerful rocket. And on board is the Orion spacecraft, which is carrying 4 astronauts. So this is different from the Apollo program. The Apollo spacecraft program carried 3, whereas Orion is a bit bigger. Well, in terms of its capacity, at least to carry people, it's a bit bigger and can carry 4 astronauts. It's about, the capsule itself is about 3 meters, whereas the Apollo capsule was actually 3.3, a little bit bigger in that regard, but the Orion has a greater diameter. So the length, I should say. The Apollo was a bit longer, but the diameter, the width, the anchura of Orion is greater. And they can fit 4 people in there, 4 astronauts. So this is launched with the Space Launch System, as opposed to Apollo, which launched with the rocket, or the Saturn V rocket. And so this is designed for 21 days, whereas Apollo missions were 12 to 14. They could go about 2 weeks, but this can go for 3 and could last even longer. So there's a lot more modern technology involved, obviously. Touch screens and advanced life support systems, a very improved heat shield. Whereas the Apollo system, the Apollo module, let's say, had analog instruments, it had mechanical controls. It was very limited, of course. We were talking about a long time ago. And in terms of re-entry, of course, Apollo had a heat shield for lunar return designed for high-speed re-entry. And the new one, the new Orion, has a much more advanced heat shield. And it will be designed also for deep space re-entry. So you could come from further in space. For example, imagine coming back from Mars and could potentially handle it, let's say, with that heat of re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. So, the astronauts, what about the astronauts? Well, they won't be landing on the moon. A lot of people are wondering, well, are they going to the moon? No, they're not landing on the moon. Instead, they'll complete a lunar flyby, which is the term we saw, a flyby, right? So van a pasar, vuelo de aproximación, maybe sobrevuelo, no sé, que van a volar cerca, flying around the moon, and then return to Earth. And even without landing, this journey is still crucial to test the spacecraft and to ensure that everything is safe for future missions. So this is an important step as we work towards actually landing people on the moon, okay? So this mission is historic for several reasons. It's the first human journey beyond Earth's orbit in decades. And also the crew is very diverse. You have Christina Koch, who will be the first woman to travel beyond low Earth orbit. Victor Glover, who will be the first black astronaut to travel this far as well. And we have Jeremy Hansen, the Canadian, who's the first non-American, non-USA based, I'll say USA, not just American, but from the United States. The first non-American astronaut to reach lunar orbit. He is from the Canadian Space Agency. So even Chris Hadfield, who I had on the show, who is Canadian and the commander of the International Space Station, they did not go into lunar, they didn't go that far, of course. So Artemis II will also take astronauts over 250,000 miles from Earth, farther than humans have ever gone in history. So a quarter of a million miles away from Earth. So this is further than anyone's ever gone. So the main goal here is to prepare for future moon landings. Now, astronauts flying them around the moon allows NASA to test, they have to test a lot of things. These life support systems, there are navigation systems, communication systems, different safety systems that really need to be tested in deep space. They can't do this in low Earth orbit. Okay? So they have to test it in deep space. That's what they'll be doing here. Now, it also provides important data about radiation and other effects of space travel on the human body. So they'll be able to study what happens to the astronauts' bodies by traveling so far from Earth, and determine how the spacecraft performs so far from Earth. So even without landing, right, sin aterrizar en la luna, without landing on the moon, the astronauts will get incredible views of the moon. They're not landing there, but they'll get great views, including the far side of the moon, which humans have rarely seen. The mission will last about 10 days, and it will give crew enough time to complete all the planned tests and observations. There's some very interesting details about the mission. Well, the spacecraft is like a little space hotel, basically. There are sleeping quarters, there are toilets, and a small kitchen. The Artemis II is the first crewed mission of the Artemis program, which eventually aims for regular moon landings and even a lunar base. Now, the mission also represents international collaboration and a step towards inspiring future. They want to grow and have future generations of space explorers, basically. So this isn't just a test flight. It's a historic journey. It's a journey into deep space. And I guess it shows that humans can travel further than ever before. And we're ready to do this. And paving the way, as we say. Abriendo el camino, paving the way for the future of lunar exploration. So yes, I'm excited about this, and in the coming days we'll be able to see how this is going, and we'll be able to get, I'm sure, incredible pictures when the astronauts return to Earth, or before, no doubt. But as I speak, of course, this hasn't happened yet. As you're listening, maybe it's already launched, but I can't speak about that yet because I'm recording this podcast. But I'm sure very soon we'll get fascinating pictures of the moon, and it's going to be wonderful to see what comes out of this. All right, interrogative challenge. I'll give you the answer. You ask me the question. Okay, here we go. Okay, number one. Artemis II launched from the Kennedy Space Center. Where did Artemis II launch from? Where did Artemis II launch from? Artemis II will use the Space Launch System rocket. What rocket will Artemis II use? Yeah, the Space Launch System rocket. The spacecraft carrying the crew is called Orion. What is the spacecraft carrying the crew called? It's called Orion. No, the mission will not land on the moon. Will the mission land on the moon? the astronauts will complete a lunar flyby. What will the astronauts complete? What will the astronauts complete? The mission will last about 10 days. How long will the mission last? How long will the mission last? Jeremy Hansen is the Canadian astronaut. Who is the Canadian astronaut? Who is the Canadian astronaut? Well, friends, I think we've learned a bit about the Artemis II project today. Well, the Artemis missions and the project, and I think it's been an interesting show. I think I'm going to finish there for today, but I thank you for listening, and we'll be back again soon. I always say we, but it's me. But yes, we'll be back again soon. I guess we can say that with another episode. So thanks for listening. And again, I encourage you to share with your friends. And I thank you for subscribing and for listening, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.